Hello everyone, today we are reviewing a real monster, the ASUS ROG Strix G18. It packs a 14th gen Intel Core i9 and RTX 4070 GPU, 32GB of RAM and 18-inch display. Yes, it's a 2024 model, but even in 2025/26, I still believe it's a relevant laptop. Let me say right away, this is not a light machine. It weighs around 3 kilograms and with a charger it's close to 4. The chassis is fully plastic without any metal inserts, but the build quality is solid. Nothing creaks, the lid is firm and it doesn't wobble. It follows the same concept as the higher-end SCAR models, but is more affordable and practical. The thickness at the widest point is about 3 centimeters and you definitely feel it, especially if you carry it around often. But honestly, that's the price you pay for the power and cooling. Not really a drawback. The ports here are well balanced. On the left, you'll find the power connector, Ethernet port, HDMI 2.1, 2 Type-C ports with a support for DisplayPort, power delivery and G-Sync, as well as combo audio jack. On the right, 2 full-size USB-A ports. There are no ports on the back since that's where the hot air is exhausted, which makes perfect sense. For wireless, you get Wi-Fi 6 and a Bluetooth 5.3. For day-to-day use and peripherals, this is more than enough. The keyboard is comfortable with a soft case and about 2 millimeters of travel. It has a 3-level RGB backlighting that looks classic without being too flashy. Typing feels great, the feedback is crisp, and those chassis doesn't flex. I'll highlight that even under the load, the keyboard doesn't get hot. The touchpad is a glass, clickable almost across the entire surface, responsive and accurate, though slightly small and shifted to the left. But for gaming laptop, that's not critical, since we mostly use mouse anyway. Now about the display. It's an 18-inch IPS panel with a resolution of 2560 by 1600 and a 240 Hz refresh rate. Brightness reaches around 500 nits. Color accuracy is excellent with 100% sRGB. Coverage is nearly full DCI-P3. The image is sharp and contrasty. The panel is made and your eyes won't get tired even after long work sessions. The screen is genuinely impressive, especially if you work with graphics, video editing, or simply want a high-quality image without glare or burn-in. The main reason people buy this laptop: it has an Intel Core i9-14900HX with 24 cores and 32 threads, boosting up to 5.6 GHz. This is a truly powerful chip comparable to some desktop CPUs. Paired with RTX 4070, this laptop handles modern games and demanding apps with ease. In Cyberpunk 2077 on high settings, it delivers around 100 FPS. In Red Dead Redemption 2, 80+. In God of War, about 70 FPS with the rare dips. Meanwhile, CPU temperatures stay around 90 Celsius and the GPU temps around 75, which is excellent for this level of performance. In 4K rendering and video editing, the laptop is incredibly fast. It's a synthetic benchmark, results are among the best in its class. The cooling system in this model deserves special attention. Inside are 2 large fans, 4 heat pipes, and massive heat sinks that fully covers the motherboard. Thanks to this layout, airflow is well distributed and the chassis rarely exceeds 45 Celsius. In regular mode, the fans are barely audible, and in performance mode, the noise remains reasonable. If you raise the laptop slightly using a stand, temps drop even further. This is a truly well-designed cooling. Battery life is average. The 90-watt battery provides around 6 to 7 hours of office work or video playback. If you reduce brightness and enable power saving mode, you can stretch it at about 8. In games, of course, much less, around an hour, which is normal for this level of hardware. On the plus side, the 330-watt power brick charges the laptop to 50% in about half an hour. Sound is also good. The two speakers produce loud, spacious audio with a slight emphasis on mids. It's more than enough for movies and games. Yes, bass is a bit lacking, but for built-in speakers, the quality is solid. As for overall impressions, the Strix G18 is definitely not about portability. It's a laptop meant to stay at home, in studio or on a desk, and it can replace a full gaming PC. Yes, the chassis is plastic, yes, the weight is noticeable, but the performance and the screen more than compensate. It's quiet, cool, maintains stable frequencies, and handles any task, from games to video editing and 3D rendering. To sum it up, the ASUS ROG Strix G18 is a powerful and relevant laptop that remains an excellent choice even a year after release. If you're looking for a truly universal machine for gaming and work and are willing to accept the weight and size, this laptop is worth considering. It's not about convenience, it's about power and stability, and in that it performs exceptionally well. And now, as always, let's take this baby apart so we can see what we can upgrade, replace, so stay tuned. Let's go! As always, we're going to start from the bottom side of this laptop and remove all necessary screws. You have to be very careful here because it's pretty common on ASUS laptops that screws are different length. Make sure you always mark where each screw goes back. Usually the screws at front of the laptop are shorter, and if you accidentally force a longer screw, it will create an ugly bump on the palm rest. And trust me, I've seen that many times. Once all screws are removed and properly marked, I'll use my pry tool to pop one of the corners and carefully detach the bottom cover. The actual cover is very easy to remove, and once it's off, we can clearly see the entire picture of the laptop. Overall, everything here looks very user and upgrade friendly. First thing first, I will disconnect the battery. Here's a little trick. The battery connector is located under a small cooling fan, so you'll need to remove that fan first. Also, be very careful because the connector has a metal latch that holds it in place. You need to slide that latch out before disconnecting the connector. I've seen many cases where people try to pull the connector out without removing that latch, and they end up ripping the entire connector from the motherboard. That usually damages the board, and most of the time it's not repairable, or it requires a very difficult repair. Battery replacement itself is super easy, just a few screws holds it in. What's the strange to me is how small is the battery for such huge laptop, and there is clearly plenty of space for bigger one. A larger battery would add a bit of weight, but on this laptop it wouldn't really matter, and the performance would have been much better, so that's the only downside I see internally. Memory RAM is removable, 2 slots, easy to upgrade. There is only one SSD slot, which is also a bit weird. Normally gaming laptops this size have at least 2. Wi-Fi is also upgradable. On the right side of the laptop there are 2 USB ports on a daughterboard, which can be easily replaced if they ever fail. All the other ports on opposite side are also soldered directly to the motherboard, and if any of them fail, their repair will be more expensive. And always remember, keep your cooling system clean, especially on gaming laptops. Keep the fans and heat sinks free of dust to make sure the laptop doesn't overheat. And that's it for today. As always, love and peace to everybody.